Welcome back to the Pirate Ragnar MotoVlog channel, everyone. My name is Alistair. It is Wednesday. We have the last couple of things that we need for the DIY Vapor Blaster build. Oh, and wrenches. So some of the few outstanding things that we still need to do. Once we know that everything works, I am then going to finish sealing a couple of spots that require a little bit of extra caulking. That's just because I want to make sure that everything is working properly before I do that. And I have to wait like 24 to 48 hours every single time I use that stuff. So the things that are remaining is we want to actually seal every single connection that we have. And we also want to run a bit of line from our air in here to our air in on the nozzle itself. And kind of make sure that we've got all the play that we need. So about that long. The only other thing that we really need to do is finish hooking up the light so that we actually have light inside. And then reattach our gloves, as well as putting our window back in. Now, I've been looking at different options for cleaning that, getting it a little bit more see-through again. And I've just landed on basically a Meguiar's kit, like headlight restoration kit. That's effectively what this material is, and it's most likely to do the best. Plus, that'll be useful for other things for me in the future, but it has not come in yet. So this, I'm just going to be fitting in the window so that there is something there, but I'm not going to seal it in as well, simply because I'm going to be removing it and trying to polish up the surface anyway. So I think that's it. And then once that's done, we can break out a part and see if this Vapor Blaster works. Fingers crossed. Oh, really? Did you not notice I was here? He's not happy that I'm right by his bird feeder. Alright, well, we're just about ready to get started actually testing this. A few things I want to do first. Just explain the parts that I have. As I mentioned, this isn't really like an instruction. If you guys are interested in the future, me putting together like an actual how I built it and a step-by-step, I'd be happy to do that, but I will preface it right now by saying it will be a video of all the things you probably shouldn't do. I'm sure the build could have gone much better than what I've cobbled together here, but you know, if you guys are interested, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go over some specifics real quick so that if you wanted to just venture out and do it on your own, like I did, then these are the realm of parts that you're looking for based on the research that I did. So the first thing is the air compressor. I spent quite a bit of time trying to find an air compressor that I could purchase that was used, but none of the ones that were available for me to just purchase they either didn't move enough air, or the ones that did, like the very few that I would find, were just so far away from me that it would have been impractical for me to try and go and get them. So this rigid is actually perfect because you're looking for about 4 to 5 CFM, and at 90 psi, which is about what you want to use as well for our specifications, the 90 psi at 5.1 is perfect. Like, it's dead on. It's not all that quiet, so it says that it's quiet, but it's not that quiet. It is quieter than other air compressors that I've used in the past, so yeah, I wish I had a longer extension so I could put it out on the other end of the yard, but it is what it is. The problem that I have right now is that I don't really have those pedals that I used to have for kind of activating a pneumatic line. So because this nozzle doesn't have a trigger, it's basically on or not. So that's something for me to consider. This pump here, fluent power apparently, but the important bits are, it's a 3.5 horsepower. I think it was 3,800 or 3,300 gallons per hour, so it was a little less than I'd hoped, but it's more than I need for what I need to send up to the top, and the rest really is just stuff that, like, you can use that extra to agitate the medium here to make sure that your slurry stays a slurry instead of all the sediment settling to the bottom. So if I find that I don't have enough, I can always do something else to agitate it. Hopefully this works, but I'll keep you guys posted if it's not quite powerful enough to do both jobs. Alright, so the only things I want to do before we get started is I just want to blow all of this out. They're still really dusty, so I want to blow those out with the air compressor and then get that all set up. Fill this with water. Oh, and then what part are we going to test? So I've been putting a lot of thought into it, and I decided that this would probably be our best bet, just because there's not a huge risk if things don't turn out very well. So it's just the resonance chamber or the collector chamber on the CB450 SC. If things are, like they do damage or something, this isn't the end of the world if it gets some marks that I'm not happy with. So that's my logic there. So before we put it into the vapor blaster, though, we just want to try and degrease this a little bit, maximize our odds at actually getting it cleaned up in the vapor blaster. So that's where the pressure washer and some degreaser comes into it. Oh geez. Okay, well, preliminary tests are in. And there's some immediate things that we can deduce. One, I should have really cleaned the part a lot more before starting this. I already knew that vapor blasters are inherently, well, any blasting, you really want to degrease it and get as much of that crap off as you can, because it's really just a deterrent to getting to the surface that you're actually trying to be abrasive on. And because oil and stuff repels water, it makes it even more difficult with the vapor blaster to kind of get in there and clean stuff. But let's take a look. So this side I didn't do anything to, and this side we did. So in true Alistair fashion, I forgot to record an outro for this video. So, well, here we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do like the content you're seeing on the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit like, and if you do want to help this channel in any way, be sure to share this content on social media. And until next time, ride safe and ride fun, and I will see you all in the next video.